What is up, everyone? Flatline here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to 3-star the Horizon Kaido Trailblazer event. You can see it is located up here in the northern part of the map. You'll also notice that a 3-star is 350 seconds, which is just under 6 minutes. So this is by far the hardest Trailblazer in the game at the moment. Just under 6 minutes to get a 3-star. My score was 372, so I was 20 seconds over, and that put me at 150,000. You'll also notice on my friends list I have somebody at 6 minutes and 6 seconds. So they are about 16 seconds over the 3-star time, and they are ranked 225,000. So that tells you that there are a lot of people struggling with this event specifically, so I thought I would make a video on it. The main points that you want to be aiming for here is going to be this point right here. You can choose to hit this highway if you want and make your way down through this tunnel section. However, I'm going to probably choose to just bomb it across these fields. You'll notice this river running down here can be really annoying to cross. If you bomb the field, you can make a jump right here at this intersection over the river, and you'll usually be able to clear the river. The other option, like I said, is to make your way around. The next annoying thing that you want to avoid is this second river down here. If you make your way into the valley, you basically screw up your whole run. And if you go too far to the right, crossing the river can be very difficult. So I found it was best to stay to the left side of this river. So you'll want to aim for this point initially. You can choose to go through the tunnel or make your way through the fields. And I'll show you a video of me actually doing this in a second. After you make your way to here, this is going to be our next main point we want to focus on. You're going to either come through the tunnel or make your way over the fields, and then you want to try to catch this road if you can. There's going to be a lot of elevation in here. You want to stay towards the top side of the mountain. This is the long kilometer drag race that most of you have probably been near. If you make your way up on top of this hill, this is where that jump is. You can just fly off the end of here and then land down in this valley. And then our last point we're going to want to aim for is this road here. There's another river as well. You can typically jump this one near this section right here. And then you'll want to end up on this main stretch that's going to take you into the city. Once you go all the way down on this road, you're going to have one final turn, and it's going to be this intersection here. You're going to make a hard right-hand turn, and then we're just going to bomb it straight through this park. So that's the line we're going to follow. I'll go over it one more time. You can pause the video at any point. You're going to want to just head straight down here. This is our main intersection you want to aim for. You can mark it if you want, but it'll be kind of hard if you're not sticking to the roads to actually follow the route that it's planning for you, and it can actually throw you off. After hitting this, you can choose to either hook yourself onto the highway, head through the tunnel, and then head out here, or just bomb it through this section of fields. If you go through the fields, jump the river, keep heading down this way. Make sure you stay on top of the hills. You do not want to end up down in this valley if you go through the fields. Once you cut through here, you'll hit this main road, head up the hill again until you pass the kilometer drag strip, launch yourself off of this mountain here, end up in the valley, cut across here to this main road, head all the way down, and then take a sharp right-hand turn. Now, the car I'm going to be using for this event is the MX-5 Miata Forza Edition, and I know a lot of you are going to be like, what the heck, this isn't really an off-road vehicle, and you would be correct. However, there is a pretty good tune we can put on it that makes it really good in the off-road, as well as this having really good acceleration and a very high-end top speed is going to save you a lot of time and help you hitting this 3-star. So we'll go ahead and equip this vehicle if you don't have it equipped already, and then make your way to the tune car. Hit start to go to the tune browser, and then you're going to scroll over a little bit, and you're going to see this R993 rating. It has the title of Off-Road PR Stunts. You're going to select that, download and install it, and then you also might have to purchase some of these upgrades if you don't have them already. Now that we have our route and our car picked out, you're going to want to teleport to the Trailblazer gate and then head up the mountain that is near the gate. You're going to want to start up at the top. This is going to give us a running start. We can probably hit about 200 miles per hour entering the Trailblazer gate, and that's going to also help us shave off some time. You can see the marker that I placed at that initial junction I was talking to you guys about. It's about 8.2 miles away. We're going to aim to the right of that marker, and here we go. Because this car is so fast and so light and not necessarily meant to be off-roaded at these speeds, I'd recommend keeping the car on as many even surfaces as possible.
Also fluttering the gas or the brake if you feel the car begin to lift off of the ground. You also notice I'm trying to keep myself on as many roads or even surfaces as possible to allow the car to accelerate and reach higher speeds. I hit kind of a crappy jump here and end up landing sideways, but I'm aiming to go under this bridge anyways. You could also travel over it if you'd like. There is a dirt road off to my right hand side that you can take through here if you'd like, but I was trying to cut through this wooded area to line up with this road ahead. And then after this, you're going to want to accelerate, and this jump is going to be pretty difficult for a lot of people. The car is going to launch in so many different directions because of how fast you're traveling, so this is probably a section a lot of you will want to use rewinds on until you get a nice even landing. And then once you do, you'll want to accelerate through the field and line yourself up with this next road ahead of us. After this, you're going to try to jump this section of water. I found it was easiest to kind of launch yourself over the bridge there. After doing so, this section is tough. You really want to find some of these dirt roads if you can. Otherwise, you'll be bouncing up and down in the fields and probably spin out. After this, you want to aim underneath the bridge here, and then you're going to start to slow down. There's a pretty big bump here, followed by another big hill up onto the highway. Once we're onto the highway, we can begin to accelerate again. There's going to be like a fence over to this left-hand side that we're going to cut through. That way we can head up this nice section of woods, and it's going to lead us to our next road. This is where we're going to begin heading towards the kilometer drag strip. Stay on the road as long as you possibly can. There's going to be a turn to the right, and then you want to hang left. Make sure you avoid that house you just saw off to the left-hand side. You also want to be careful heading towards the drag strip. There is like an invisible wall at the beginning that you can launch yourself into. I'm aiming for this side road, and then after this, you're going to cut over onto the drag strip itself. This is where you can hit the jump that I was talking about, and you'll want to hit it as fast as possible to get as far as you can. Try to get a nice even landing again. You might have to rewind there a couple times. You'll want to slow down heading into this next section. There's a big bump there that you don't want to hit going fast, but then you want to really hammer it so that we can launch ourselves over the wooded section. Once we land in here, this section can be tough as well because this is going to be where that last river is. I'm trying to find a clean spot to cut over. This seemed to work pretty well in here. You're then going to try to cut over to the right-hand side. I probably should have done it a little bit sooner. And the reason being is you don't want to launch yourself off of that bridge you just saw. Once you've made it onto this last section of road, you're going to hammer it, get going as fast as you can, but still be able to take these turns that are coming up. I brake a little bit here. Once you see this crosswalk over the road, you're going to hard brake and begin to turn to the left. And then we'll have one final turn coming up, which is the hard right-hand turn into the park. Unfortunately, I had to use one rewind on this run. Right here, I end up hitting the tree, which is unfortunate, but I end up setting my best time, so I wanted to showcase this run. It ends up ranking us at 8,000, which is pretty decent. I think you could definitely make this run a little bit better. You might even find a better tune or a better vehicle to use. If you don't have this vehicle, the Nomad or some sort of off-road vehicle, I know the Nomad is something a lot of people have access to. You might just want to use some sort of off-road vehicle in its place. But there you can see the ranking, 8,205. Let me know if you guys have found any better routes, if you think there's anything that we could change to make this one a little bit better. If this route worked for you, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you would like to see more content like this in the future. And if there's any other events that you guys would like for me to make a guide on, please let me know in the comments below. Until next time, peace out.